Welcome to another delightful episode of the Effin' Game Podcast with a lot less bass.
Haven't seen from this feed in a while.
Uh-oh, we're back. We're so back, boys. We're your hosts, Price, Dylan, Nathan, and Jill.
Jill.
Also joining us on this podcast is Jill. And we're so stoked for it because we are doing our end of the year game podcast. Yeah, that's right, Chris. We're back, baby.
Our one viewer.
Our one viewer. Hey, now we've got
Chris, hasn't Chainsaw Man been absolutely peak lately?
No.
I mean, oh my god.
It hasn't. It hasn't.
Oh,
That's
yes,
not,
it has.
That's not true. Puke up something useful. Shut up.
He
Anyways.
cooped up himself and yeeted him at the aging level.
I don't know. I just don't,
Amazing.
I don't think chainsaw abortion was that cool. But anyways,
Yeah.
onto the content now that we've.
Well, before we get totally into
Yeah.
it, I wanted to just say briefly, man, 24 has been such a, I wouldn't say letdown, but calm after 2023. I think last year
Three ran hot. Yeah.
So, yes, but also this year led with a lot of strong titles
It did.
and then floundered later.
See,
in the
I'm the
year.
opposite. I feel like it got better later in the year. Like September to November was my peak gaming time, and the two releases I have from this year are from that time period.
But and when I'm talking about this, I'm not talking about games that I've played necessarily. I just feel like the year as a whole, it seems like there were a lot of big flops towards the end of this year.
Oh, this is the year of flops.
Yeah,
No
but it
doubts
did,
about it.
we had Dragon's Dogma 2,
Yeah,
and
flopped
there
hard.
had been some pretty strong titles that came out early on.
But I'm just saying, compared to last year, I keep looking at last year and thinking, that is the best year of games.
It's certainly one of the best.
Yeah.
For me, it's the best year of gaming. Like between Pikmin 4, Tears of the Kingdom, Baldur's Gate 3, you all had Elden Ring.
Yeah. We still have Elden Ring.
Yeah, and more Elden Ring coming down the pipeline.
Oh boy, Niren? Yeah, but we got to find a third.
But I just get tired.
Yeah, that won't be a problem.
I hear people keep saying it's the year of the indies, and indies are picking up a lot of slack. But maybe I'm missing a bunch, and you all can tell me. But I just haven't found any that have really interested me that much. It seems like everything's in early access.
My number 4 is an indie game.
Okay.
So there you go for that one. And some of my mentions are actually on indie. But
Let me start with the honorable mentions.
Let me go ahead and give the format, and then we'll let them hear it out. So format is how we're going to go as follows. We're going to list through a couple. We're just going to hit all the honorable mentions in one big run. Give a little bit of a explanation why maybe they didn't make the top, or just the top is so good.
A 1-sentence summary.
Yeah, something real quick. Nothing too heavy. Maybe a tiny description if you feel like it needs it, but nothing too more than that. We're on for the top 5 here. And then we will hit number 5s across the board, number 4s across the board, number 3s, and work our way up to number 1 until we are
We're going to do that
finished.
confusing snake method where we pass a pillow?
No, we're just going to go...
Yeah.
We're going to go down the ladder. It's going to go... you guys can't see, but Price is sitting to my left, and to my right is Nathan, and then to his right is Jill. So we'll go Price, Dylan, Nathan, Jill, and then it'll go back to Price, Dylan, Nathan, Jill for 4, 3, and 2, and 1. So...
Cheeks.
Anyways, if you guys have no further questions, you can't ask them anyway, you idiots. This is an audio podcast. There's no response. There's no live chat. Price honorable mentions.
I can tell that you are forcing your voice to be way lower than it ever is. You're doing this library thing because you can see where I went up for a second.
Listen, it's a different voice for a different show.
This show barely exists.
Yeah, but this is how. All right, listen, you got to diversify as a voice actor.
Oh my god.
So if you knew that,
whatever.
All
okay. Right. Am I doing all my honorable mentions?
Hit them all, brother.
Okay. I have 3. All of them are actually my indie games. SteamWorld Hand of Gilgamesh. I played this year. Also, you all need to know, listeners, is that these are games we played this year.
Yes.
They don't necessarily had to have came out this year.
Correct.
It's a very important note because that's why all 2 of the 3 of mine are on here. So SteamWorld Hand of Gilgamesh is in the SteamWorld universe. You may have heard SteamWorld Heist. There's a whole bunch of them.
Yeah. I played the first one, Dig, I think was the
Dig
first
is super fun. Love Dig. I think I played that this year, but whatever. It's not on my list. SteamWorld Hand of Gilgamesh is a turn-based, story-based game. The writing in it's super good. The writing's really good. The music's awesome for some reason. But just a little bite-sized thing. Nothing too big. Shogun Showdown is a indie game where it's a roguelite where it's all about positioning, and I don't know, it's just really fun. It's hard to describe. And then my one that just barely didn't make it on the list that did come out this year is Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess.
Yeah, I love the aesthetic on that game.
It has possibly the my second best favorite art direction of the year. Like,
Yeah,
the
it's
monsters
great.
are all super unique. The gameplay super unique. It's a tower defense hack and slash, basically, which, I mean, we don't ever get any kind of tower defenses nowadays, especially with the production quality of this game, because I think it has Capcom behind it.
It does. It's published.
It was on Game Pass. Super, super fun game. Definitely my top, I would recommend out of my honorable mentions.
Okay. On my list of honorable mentions, I played through American Arcadia. That's a store-driven little 4-hour
Yeah,
long.
I want to play.
Is that the
that.
broadcasting game?
Yeah, it's
It's about broadcasting?
It's like your.
it's like Truman Showy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I know it.
It's very upfront, so that's not a spoiler on that one.
Mm-hmm.
The gameplay itself was like pretty lacking. There were some parts where I genuinely felt frustrated, but the plot and narrative enough all kind of just lands really well. So I guess on that front, I'd give it a recommend, but the gameplay might. If I wouldn't blame you if you checked out on it. Balatro, I finally got around checking that. I'm a
Ooh.
humongous card game nerd, and this did not crack my top 5. I was actually a little underwhelmed by Balatro.
I was underwhelmed
so
too.
surprised that it got like as much attention as it
So
did
you're
at
the
the
same
Game
way as
Awards.
us,
Yeah.
then?
Like
I
think
I
it's so
liked it,
overhyped.
but I
Uh-huh.
don't understand. Like I feel like there were so many other games that did the same kind of thing this year. I don't see why
A deck builder
a deck builder
roguelike?
card game mechanic.
Like
yeah.
It's
just
nuts.
this year.
This one is the one that
Yeah.
keeps eating good, though, right? Yeah.
which
It got
I
nominated
think-
for Game of the Year.
I know.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is crazy, but I feel like part of it might be because it was also on the phone for some reason. 'Cause
It also
I
got to
didn't
be
realize
mobile,
how
yeah.
popular it is on the phone. Like
Oh.
apparently super
I can get it.
popular
I get
there.
that though. Once I played this, I was like, oh, and I saw where people were hyping up mobile. I'm like, I could see this being.
It's just like, it's almost like a deck builder roguelike for people who don't really play deck builder roguelikes, because there's
It
so
feels-
much better
oh,
out there on the
yeah,
market.
man. I mean, and as somebody who loves both of those things, I was underwhelmed.
I listened to a podcast where they were hyping up Balatro as possibly the podcast game of the year, and somebody brought up Slay the Spire, and the same people who were hyping up Balatro said, I've never played Slay the Spire.
Get the fuck out, man.
Yeah.
See, they're missing.
And I was
out.
like, that's like the base.
yeah, that's where a lot of them are picking up. And,
Yeah.
yeah. So, Balatro wasn't as hot for me, but I think it's good enough for an honorable mention. I just don't think that the mention for me is that it's honestly not higher, knowing it's a game that feels very pegged towards me. Other quick mentions, really quick. Marvel Rivals recently has come out, and I've really
You are
enjoyed.
on there all the time.
I'm super
I
enjoying
love it.
Marvel Rivals. I won't lie. I'm having a great time with it. But the one thing that I couldn't feasibly put on the list because it is technically a DLC and could easily just win. I'm not Game Awardsing this one. It's Shadow of Erdtree. Objectively, this could be Game of the Year. I fucking spent so
I mean,
much
they
time.
they said that it could be
They-
Game of the Year too.
Yeah, they said
they the first DLC to ever
DLC
be
of
up
the
for
year.
Game of the Year.
Yeah, and it's absolutely worth recognizing. Shadow of Erdtree, listen, go type it into YouTube, and any other person will tell you how great it is because it's awesome. I had a lovely, fantastic time with it, and time sank quite a bit into this DLC.
Before we pass to Nathan, I did forget to mention Persona 3 Reload should be on my
yeah.
honorable mentions as well. Top soundtrack of the year, but there is another Atlas game that was much, much better that came out this year.
I was figuring we were going to be talking
Oh,
about
yeah.
that one with that one. I'll just borrow it from you after you're done.
Okay.
But, on to Nathan's honorable mentions. I'm looking at an Excel
Dude,
sheet for the record.
I've played 161 games this year.
There actually is
finished.
a video game about egg flipping.
I believe that.
So like I have such a staggering number of games that I would like to talk about, and I mean I could go on forever because
You get
like
3 minutes.
there's just as much like to talk about good as bad.
Uh-huh.
One thing I do want to mention, talking about indie games, talking about like the Game Awards, Plucky Squire I'm pretty sure was up for indie game.
I wanted that. I hadn't
Dude,
played that one.
No.
No?
That game is not that good.
This is
Oh.
honorable mentions, Nathan.
Well,
that's why it's getting
that's what I
mentions.
want to mention.
Yeah, see, it's
is
not always
I,
good.
I was really keen on it, and
I
I
was
was like, I
with you.
love the art style. It seems like it's going to be super good. No, it is not. It's not that great. It's not worth your
this
time.
podcast for bad games this year.
Worst
well,
games of
I mean,
2024.
that there it is.
Yeah. Oh, man.
So just to try and hit some quick honorable mentions.
sick.
Road 96, really great storytelling game. Very much liked it. It's like it's a roguelike where you're playing as like teenagers and you're trying to escape a like autocracy. It's very interesting. I also went through and played the whole Trine series, like 1 through 4. Some of them not so good. other ones really good. The one where they decided to not be a side scroller anymore and do full 3D is probably the worst
4?
one. No, it wasn't 4 because they came back to form.
That's right.
Basically, whenever I don't remember which one it was, but they literally didn't even finish the game.
Right.
They have never finished the
I
game.
remember you was talking about this.
Like
Yeah.
I was annoyed about that, but man, it's otherwise such a good series. Big letdown in that respect.
1 and 2 are good.
It Takes Two also played that this year.
Yeah.
Awesome. Super looking forward to the next game that they announced at the Game
That one looks
Awards
fun.
as well.
Too long.
Yeah.
The written fiction one or whatever.
The
it is,
split fiction, I think.
Split
is what it's
fiction.
called.
It Takes
Yeah.
Two is way too long now.
It's not that long.
It is. It goes on way longer than it should.
I played the game this year. It's not that long.
Oh yeah.
Feels like it's my number 1. What do you mean?
Yeah, like honestly, I will say it is most likely going to be on her list. I would imagine, given that she played 23 games this year and that was on it, because it would have been.
He's
it would have
quantity
been-
shaming again.
I know.
You heard it really quick.
23.
Only 23.
I farted out 23.
V Rising played that this year. V Rising is awesome. Recommend it. There's this weird game I played called RZ: The Jewel of Faramore, which is somebody trying to make the Link in the Faces of Evil CDI game as like basically they were trying to make that sort of game.
That is
again.
a deep cut, buddy.
I understood like 5 words.
That was one of the first video games I played as a kid. Our
Oh.
first console was the Philips CDI.
Yeah.
I love that was done. It's so great. Like, it's got all the bad, like, animations and stuff. It's super worth looking at. Carrion, crazy game. Have you
Cool
seen that?
art.
Yeah, super good.
Yeah.
Really solid
It's
game.
on Game Pass.
Yeah, like, it could have been in contention any other year, too. Viewfinder. Have you either of y'all seen that? The thing where you take pictures
I
and,
hate
like...
that.
Oh,
kind
you can
of puzzle.
you can put them together and make those
I
faces.
hate those puzzles.
I loved that
It
game.
reminds me of Hellblade 1 a lot.
Yeah,
With like
yeah.
lining
I
up
still
the pictures
haven't. I
and
still
stuff.
haven't played that. I really want to. I can't decide if I
You
want to
would
play
like
it
it.
or if I want to play the VR.
It is an
version
art
of
house
it.
kind of
yeah.
game. You would
Do
like
the
it.
art, the VR one of yours.
So I guess I'll throw like 3 more mentions when I'm done. All right. So Shadow of the Earth Tree. That's
Yes.
not going to make my top, but it was really good.
Yeah.
There's a couple of things that threw me off with it, which maybe whenever somebody brings it up, we can discuss that because I'm sure it's. Yeah, I
The
feel like
last
it's going
boss
to be
is
on
just
some. No, last boss, like, he's hard, fine. It's really the stuff that you had to collect to get stronger there. The fact that you had to collect every single one of them and there were no extras.
I remember
Yeah.
you talking about
Yeah,
that.
like that's the gripe that stands out as to why it's not in my top 5 this year.
Well, thanks.
Also played Phantom Liberty, the Cyberpunk
Yeah.
DLC.
Yeah.
Super good.
I did keep
Highly
hearing good
recommend it.
things.
Didn't quite hit my top 5. And last one I just want to mention as a VR title that I would highly recommend.
I'm vomiting.
Subside. It's not even that like deep of a game. It's literally just like free diving in water, but the visuals
terrible
are
for you.
amazing. And just the like audio quality of like whenever you go into the water, it almost makes you feel like your ears are like having water go into them just from the way the sound is. Really, really well done.
Subnautica does that, and I haven't even played the VR version.
Yeah.
So I
The
totally
VR
get that.
version. So talk about nauseating.
Bad.
Subside does it right. Subnautica does it wrong. They need to take like pointers, or like somebody needs to find
the
a way
audio
of taking
file.
the controls
Maybe they'll do it
of
for 2.
Subside into Subnautica, and then I could maybe do it because that was very nauseating to try
Gotcha.
and play VR.
Jill, honorable mentions.
Yeah, I have 2. I played a quick game over Thanksgiving, a short hike. I really enjoyed it. Took an
That's a
hour.
little bird.
It's
Yeah,
a walking
yeah.
sim,
Well,
isn't
yeah, I
it?
played
Yeah.
that.
I wouldn't call it a walking
No.
sim.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of. You got like some like jumping puzzles and like finding like
Okay.
feathers.
Yeah,
or something
feathers.
Like that. Yeah.
Sounds cute.
It's very cute.
It's nice. Yeah.
Like, it's pretty.
It's one of
cute.
those ones that you are giving me shit for being way too short of a
Yeah.
game.
It is a
Same.
very short game. I finished it in an hour.
Yeah. That's why it's honorable mention.
And it's a short hike.
Yeah.
It's not a long hike.
Well, advertised.
And also Dale and Dawson Stationary Supplies.
Ah.
We can
Yeah.
mention too.
Yeah.
I don't even know what
pretty
that
good.
is.
Think Among Us, but think if you took Among Us and The Office and put it together.
It's
Yeah.
very-
Oh, it's
very
that game
fun.
you were getting everybody to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need more people.
I
It's
just
good.
I just pegged that. You asked me to play that. I was like, this is gonna be a game I pay this much money for. I'm gonna play it one time, and then that's
And we were trying to play it like every week.
So Lethal Company.
You know my schedule is terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like trying to sell you on it in particular because
we're just trying to get. It's not.
We
as
just
much
wanted
fun
people in
with
general,
less
like
people.
just casting the widest net. Like even having
Savannah.
people that you don't necessarily,
Her dad
even
died
people
this year
that you don't
too, so.
necessarily know. Even better, because then you got that awkward office situation of like, well, I don't really know.
Yeah,
this
you're just a friend of a
person.
friend, and
They
then...
work over in the annex.
Yeah. Oh my god! Quit trying to make life cringe, everybody. All right, number 5 from the top prize.
You
Let's
ready?
go.
Am I starting it every time?
Yeah, it goes back to you.
Whatever.
If you didn't want to be that way, you could switch seats.
If
with me.
if Nathan got to do a mention earlier, I wanted to also mention that Infinite Wealth came out this year.
Yeah.
Yakuza 7 is one of my favorite games I've played. Infinite Wealth fell super flat for me.
Shame for
I
Wealth,
was
huh?
I was very disappointed.
So, wait, so you're not talking about Like a Dragon?
Yeah,
Yeah, Like a Dragon. Infinite Wealth.
Yakuza, Like a
It's the
Dragon,
most
Infinite
recent
Wealth.
one that came out this year.
But there was one that was just called Like a Dragon, right?
That's actually, that's a regional thing, but we'll get less into that. We'll get on to that off.
Okay,
after
This
I
is-
played that one.
This is the
Yeah.
sequel to that.
This is the sequel.
Yeah,
It's a
yeah,
direct
I'm aware of
sequel
it.
to
I
it.
was just, whenever you're saying Yakuza 7, are you referring to...
Yeah, Yakuza
Yeah.
7, Like a Dragon, Ichiban story, basically, is like one of my top.
All right, now I understand what you're talking
Now,
about.
Alright.
Yakuza Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth came out this year,
Yes.
which is Yakuza 8, and just wasn't a fan of it. So I would just recommend to stay away. Because you remember how you had to grind? There's a huge, difficulty spike.
Yeah.
This one, your party gets split into 2, and there's difficulty spikes on both fronts.
And you have to, grind on both sides.
Yep.
Man,
That turned me off immediately.
That, to me, brings up an actual legitimate argument for having difficulty sliders to just make the game easier, just so that you can enjoy the content. Because it's frustrating when there's a game that it's it's got fun, interesting, good content in it that can be very entertaining, but there is just this wall of pointless grinding and repetitive gameplay that is blocking you out.
That's fair.
All right, to finally start the list, number 5 is a game that came out, I think, last year, and that is Wild Hearts. It's a Monster Hunter clone. Probably has my favorite art direction of what I played this year. Absolutely gorgeous game. The moment-to-moment combat feels so good. Monster Hunter really encourages you to play with more than one person. It's really hard to play solo. It feels like you're playing the game wrong when you're playing solo. Whereas when I played
The only
Wild...
time I've ever played Monster Hunter, I played it solo on the 3DS, and I felt like I just couldn't play it.
Cripplingly hard at times. Yeah.
But with Wild Hearts, I never once felt like I needed another person there. It would have been nice, but didn't need it. They introduced a mechanic where you build stuff on the fly, which makes you feel so cool when a monster's charging at you, and you have to do an input combo to build something. So I could do
Fortnite building.
Yes, it honestly is like that. So I hold L1, I do 4 inputs, and I throw up a wall that the monster charges into and knocks him over, so I can fight it.
That's pretty cool.
It just makes it where, again, like I said, you don't need another person. You have enough tools at your disposal. It's super fun game. Really enjoyed it.
My number 5 is classic remakes. I'm gonna sell out on this one because the remake did a great job. We're talking Silent Hill 2. Silent Hill 2 is a fantastic game. If you played the original, I had a hard time playing it because it was genuinely so fucking scary. I wanted to throw the controller. Dude, it was. I know very few games that I was I genuinely want to throw the controller away because I'm just I do not want to have to deal with the tension of this. And it is fantastic. And it had a couple of I won't call it full-on remakes because this has been the full-scale remake, but they've had a couple of redos and upgrades and stuff like that, and they were all bad, right? And then we go into this remake, and man, it just gets enough good stuff in it, right, to make it click again, to make it feel like you're I could recommend this game to say, yeah, you're gonna get more or less the universal experience of playing the original. And here's the thing, because there's a weird middle ground where it's we're gonna redo it, then we're gonna add a bunch of shit. And then sometimes you do redo it, or we keep it faithfully original, and you are not going to please everybody. But I think this one needed to be pretty damn close to original, and it was.
Resident Evil 4, I think.
Resident Evil 4 did a great job of that, right?
Yeah. I played that for the first time.
That was the other standout one.
It.
Yeah, and
super fun.
Resident Evil 4,
I forgot to mention it, but
fantastic.
awesome.
Yeah, was that this year as well?
No,
that was last year. Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, okay.
I'm saying
good.
I played it.
Right, yeah, but
I borrowed it from you and Dobby ate it.
yes, that's right. I do recall. I do recall your dog eating my video game.
I bought him a new one.
He did. But
shrink wrapped and everything.
yeah, over the decades, Silent Hill 2 has remained one of my favorite narratives and being proven through a game, and it's just fun enough to actually go wild on.
I want to borrow that from you sometime. That's on my list to buy if it's on sale. Oh, do you have a digital?
It is digital and on Mark's PlayStation. So
Come on.
I know. Sorry. Otherwise, normally I do buy those ones
I know.
on those
so your
ones,
dog
but
can't eat this one.
that is true. Dobby cannot.
He's
You
gonna go
can eat the
hungry.
PlayStation.
Yeah, Dobby cannot eat.
Dobby would go
Silent
out the
Hill.
window if he ate the PlayStation.
Yeah, but anyways, that's my number 5, Silent Hill 2. We're starting up with a creepy slow crawl. Nathan.
Well, I'm starting off with something probably a little odd.
Oh.
My number 5 this year is Walkabout Mini Golf VR.
What? Damn it, VR games.
Dude,
That's awesome.
Dude, I love this mini golf game. I can't get enough of it.
Yeah.
I have bought every course that they have released the day they've released it and played every single one of them. I've played hundreds of holes of golf. It is
That's
just
awesome.
perfect. The aesthetic of it is good.
I would expect this from Mason.
Yeah.
Hot Shots
like,
Golf again,
Yeah,
baby.
all right, every year.
Super Mario Brothers.
like multiple days a week, I will just like be playing mini golf, and I'll be playing courses I've played before. I don't care. It's good. It's a good,
good.
game. And for the first time this week, I finally got somebody else to play with me, and it's awesome. Like me and Ethan played a round of golf together. You're in the space together. You're able to talk. You can have up to 8 people just hanging out playing mini golf together.
That's so
It
cool.
is fantastic.
Isn't there like a werewolf VR thing that's pretty much
Yeah, I
like
think there is.
Can you just play werewolf and do putt-putt? Well, can you murder them
Yeah,
with the
at
putt?
the same time.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
Club 'em.
while we're
Yeah.
in here, we might as well, play some classic werewolf.
Why not, right? Yeah.
Pass the time between turns.
Oh my god.
But yeah, it's very weird. Like, there's so many games that I could have given this spot to, but I'm just
If you
so
have fun
happy with
if you
that
have fun
game.
with it, what's it matter?
Yeah, you know what? No one's here to yuck anybody's yum. At least I don't think. We'll see about how it goes. Speaking of queuing in, Jill, number 5.
Were you about to yuck this game or something?
No, I don't know what the game
Well,
is.
price it actually is because
Yeah.
it takes 2.
Oh yeah. Ah!
Too long.
Yeah, too long.
I guess it is a little long, but I enjoyed it.
It takes 2.
I
Parentheses
love
long.
the fact they change mechanics every level.
And they're going to be
it's
doing
so
the
cool.
same exact...
Split
They were
fiction.
very strongly we're doing
You're
the same
doing this
thing.
shit.
We're
Yeah.
doing it. We're just doing it again.
If you liked it, you're gonna like this. If you don't like it, you're not gonna like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the elephant. Is it the elephant level where they have to
Oh yeah, but they
Can we
rip
spoil
off
it?
the elephant's
No
ear.
spoilers.
Oh, there
I
you
haven't
go.
played it. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
man.
was dark.
That's
you were playing some awful people.
Yeah.
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 Oh man,
Like
spoilers.
narcissist parents for sure.
I don't need more of that.
It's a very memorable game.
Yeah.
Like, it really
That's
is.
what I hear from it. Yeah, I just can't find it too, and I won't. So
Yeah, Mark.
he doesn't like that game.
Oh my
Not
god.
Hannah.
Hannah's dad.
It is a good wife game. I played.
Oh.
yeah.
I played it.
Yeah.
Well,
She's,
nobody's parent died in it. They're just getting divorced.
Yeah, but I mean, it still just makes you think about
yeah, maybe we
parents
just don't
and
go into
family stuff.
maybe we don't
Like,
touch families for a little while.
All right.
Yeah, that's why she didn't watch Interstellar with me actually. Yeah. Price back to you for number 4.
All right, for my number 4, I have a game. I don't know when it came out, to be totally honest. Astral Ascent. If anybody's heard of it, it's like I think we need to start putting timers on ours.
You can.
Oh my god!
I feel like I'm
it's
gonna.
9 o'clock.
Yeah, it is.
We're going through each
We're
other's
going through. We're at a brisk pace on the top.
Anyway,
You're eating into your own time.
5. Yeah, you are. It's your fault that this is long.
Let's talk about corn some.
Yeah.
Astral Ascent is basically a clone of Hades. I would say it's
okay.
a perfect clone of Hades,
Yeah.
but almost does Hades better than it does itself. It doesn't have quite
Whoa.
the production quality
Mhm.
of what Hades does, but the upgrades, the story, the characters,
Story.
there's more. There's more in this game. I didn't even quite There's 4 or 5 different people you can play as, and they all have different stories, and they all interact with the bosses in different ways. There are so many.
So the storytelling method is similar too. Then.
It's very similar,
Yeah,
but they
okay.
all have their own stories and different gameplays. It's like Zagreus. There's 5 Zagreus's in this game because they all have that many stories. super under the radar game. I got it on a Humble Bundle, so you have it somewhere.
Yeah, I have it. I've seen it.
It was one of those that like I got it on a Humble Bundle, wasn't even getting it for that, and then like I turned it on and was like, I'm probably gonna turn this off here in just a second, and then it hooked me and kept playing. It's a fantastic game that's getting a 2.0 and a DLC next year that I'm going to get for full price. Definitely would recommend it to you two, especially. It's absolutely fantastic.
I'll pull it from a Humble Bundle. It'll cost me like 5 cents now. So
no, it was a pass.
I know,
yeah.
Well,
but you have
they're doing encores right now of a lot of the bundles.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They tend to do that.
Yeah,
they've started doing that over the last few years.
Huh.
So yeah, there is a chance you'll be able to see it come up again.
I mean, I seriously recommend it. It's a fantastic roguelike that's very much like Hades, and the voice acting in it is honestly on par with it. That's amazing.
That definitely would carry something like that quite.
It does.
Yeah.
Like it's the amount of dialogue they have in that game is staggering. It's really good.
My number 4, going back to the earlier deck building genre philosophy here, I'm touching on the game The Bazaar. So this was
I got a friend playing that.
Dude, it's
early
so
access,
fun.
right?
Early access game, so it's not fully out just yet. I mean, as of the time of this podcast. So, but this podcast comes out in a timely fashion, so this will make sense. Yeah. But anyway, The Bazaar is effectively I mean, we'll call it just effectively a deck builder, but it's kind of like a hero-based deck builder. You pick a couple characters, they get a set amount of, we'll call them cards, effectively, and then you build your board with it. To get more of a grasp on, just go watch gameplay, but that's the effective, like, core gameplay loop, and it is fun. I will say a couple tiny gripes with it is that currently in the early access build, so they have effectively like a quick game run, and then they have a ranked version. Ranked is where you can unlock like skins and stuff like that. But to get into ranked, you have to either win like 10 wins, so there's like 10 little battles you can go through on a regular run. You have to do a 10-win run, which is like pretty hard. You have to kind of get your build just right, and then you go up against other people's automated builds, and they just fight each other. And if yours is like not perfect by 10, you're getting ripped to shreds, right? But yeah, you have to like get those 10 wins to unlock a ranked run. So you have to like unlock it unless you just want to pay for it. So that part's like a little money schemey in my opinion. But the core gameplay loop in itself, all 3 builds have been super great. The recent update I have not totally loved, but as soon as I started playing it, I was very much on board with it. And I got several hours in already. So good enough where I would say it's on my number 4 for the year. So I'd recommend it. I'm putting it over Silent Hill only because it's mostly new content. Otherwise, I would probably argue I enjoy Silent Hill more. Yeah. But Nathan, number 4.
Number 4 for me is going to be another weird game. This one is Teardown. It's
was it the destruction?
That's an older game.
Yeah.
So
I think I bought that after you told me to. I just haven't played it yet.
Like, I think it hit like kind of a 1.0 or something maybe.
Yeah.
This year there's been a lot of those early access games going full release, and I think to me part of what probably has driven that is they saw a few titles say, hey, we're 1.0, and then rocket up to the top of the sales chart. So now all of them are like, oh, if we just say that we're not early access anymore, people will give us money?
Yeah.
You mean people were actually waiting for us to finish the game before they would pay us?
Weird.
God, I've got so many of those.
Oh,
yeah. Which, I like,
literally Hades 2
my perspective on early access stuff has definitely been changing with
so is the industry's, honestly. Yeah.
But anyway, this game is such a it's fun gameplay. It's not even that the story is that interesting or anything like that. It is just a fun game to play. Like, you spend your time going around, like, you know, it'll be like a little harbor with a bunch of houses and stuff like that, and you are, like, positioning, like, a van here and, like, you know, like, tearing a hole in a wall over here and then, like, putting a ramp here. And basically you're trying to assemble this whole series of events to where you like perform a heist. You grab whatever it is that you need to get. That's the objective of the mission, and then you're like jumping into a van and driving it over and like busting through this wall and then grabbing this other thing that you had like in place for like your moment of escape. Like it's all about like trying to execute your idea of how you're going to do a heist. Pretty much every time it's pretty much always a heist.
It's like Ocean's 11, the video game.
Yeah. And it's just like trying to execute on that, and you're doing it within like 10 seconds. So it's this huge map that you spend probably like 20 to 30 minutes figuring out what all you're going to do, and then it all just like fires off. Like the sirens start blaring, fires are going everywhere, like you're blowing stuff up, it's getting crazy, and it's all just happening super quick. It's really, really fun.
Number 4, Joe.
My number 4 is Abiotic Factor.
I have not even heard of this one.
So that's the one that would have been on my list if it were finished. Like it might be on my list next year, but it's not done for me yet.
It's a survival crafting type game.
Yeah.
You're in a corporation it's your first day, but it's shut down, and all the monsters they've been testing have come out to get you.
It's very SCP.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with that.
No idea.
It's kind of an internet thing, but
I'm not on the internet.
That's true. You're not digital.
No.
You wouldn't download a car, would you?
it's like I'm not.
Jill, anyway.
No, but go ahead.
No.
Explain it.
Jill, it's
Y'all
your
aren't
game.
selling me on this. I don't know what
the
it
only
is.
reason I played it was because of Nathan.
Okay.
So, but
Well, Nathan didn't make the game.
The cell is you're in an office. There's an area with cubicles, and you smash the cubicles with you smash the computers in the cubicles with a crowbar to get parts to build machines and things like that.
Yeah.
Imagine a survival game except you're in an office.
Some of your first armor is just wrapping magazines around your legs.
Yeah, finding magazines in a waiting room, and then finding duct tape and duct taping the magazines around your legs as a piece of armor.
But as the game goes on, I feel like the monsters were actually getting scarier and scarier. There's one that if you're playing with other people, the other people can't see it. It'll just show one person at a time. So you'll turn around and you'll see something terrifying, but no one else will. So
it's the It Follows monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's very reminiscent to it. It's got a weird noise that it makes though.
Yeah.
It's like a weird baby noise.
Was it naked though?
It didn't have skin,
No.
so it's naked
It's
in
like
that
a
way.
skinless octopus kind of thing.
Oh.
You're not Resident Evil 8.
No. It's
Most terrifying monster.
Oh yeah.
Ever.
8's got a pretty good run. So SCP guys, make sure to go plug it now. What was the abiotic what?
Abiotic Factor.
Abiotic Factor, thank you. Number 3, Price.
So my number 2 and 3 are super, super close. If I could, I would have them both at a very solid number 2. The only reason, I don't know, they're super, super close. They were the hardest one because 1 is an easy one for me. Had to give number 3 though because I like the number 2 pick just a little bit more. Number 3, I'm having to go with Astrobot.
Yeah, I knew this was going to be on your list.
It did win Game of the Year.
It did win
it rightfully
GOTY.
should.
I need to actually play it because I watched somebody playing it and I was like, I don't get it.
You play it, you'll get it.
Yeah, it's a Toy Story you play.
It's just such a joyous game the whole time. I actually had a smile on my face while playing this game the whole time.
Yeah. Have you played Sackboy's Adventure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, after you told me to.
How do you compare it to that? Do you think is it way better than
Way
that? Because I
better.
thought Sackboy was amazing.
Way better. Way more
'Cause,
polished. Doesn't have as good of a soundtrack. People hype up the Astrobot soundtrack.
I think that.
I don't know why.
Like
the Little Big Planet.
I don't think it's that
series
good
had
either.
a
It's
good
just
one.
beep boop noises.
Yeah,
and,
and then Astrobot.
yes, I've heard that
okay.
song so many times. It's it's not grating, but it's not good. It's just it's there. I don't really care about it, but man, just I have so many moments from that game where I'm playing it, I'm like, is this really happening right now? I have a clip saved on my PlayStation, which I don't have many, where my little guy is just walking on ice, and I slow down to a walk just to see him do the the animation of trying to steady himself on ice and clicking on the ice while the DualSense controller is feeling like you're walking on ice.
I think
It's-
that's where it's going to be hard.
you're
for me,
missing the
'cause I'm
DualSense
gonna
on
need
it.
a
It's
DualSense,
absolutely
too.
incredible. It's just as lame as it is to say, it brings out the inner child in you. That how you felt playing maybe Mario or something for the first time. That's what Astrobot is. It's just so fun to play through. It's a gorgeous game. It's absolutely gorgeous. There's so many particles in the game. I don't know how the PS5 is running it. You can hit jewels around and you can hear all the tings and the controller pings and stuff. It's so much fun. Big tip I'd recommend though, if you do play it, turn your mic off on your PS5 controller, because apparently there's a mechanic I didn't even know existed that you have to blow into your controller to do it. And if any kid here has ever had a DSi or whatever, it's the dumbest mechanic you can do. And I heard some reviewer talking bad about it. I was like, I didn't even do that. It just happened because I had my mic muted.
Yeah.
But it's absolutely fantastic game. super, super good, which it would normally be higher
Yeah.
if it wasn't for the other two.
Well, and PlayStation listening to you through your mic on your controller.
I know, it's just
at all
instinct.
times.
Even when I go onto Netflix, like I turn it on for Netflix, I turn the mic off every time.
Yeah.
And I have a
Yeah,
ring
the Wii
looking
U
at me.
also
at the
had
same
like
time.
blowing mechanics.
Yes.
on
Yeah,
it,
the
so-
Wii
Same
had the
thing.
same
Yeah.
thing, and it was annoying then too. My phone just restarted itself. Thank God I remembered what my list is. People are gonna think I'm memeing on this one, and
You probably are.
I so promise I'm not.
Is it Pokemon TCG?
No, that's Pokemon Pocket for the record,
I don't care.
and I am
It's
enjoying.
TCGP.
That is
PPP?
TCGP, which for the record, honorable mention that I am enjoying it.
Do you play it or just pack open?
No, I play it.
Okay, I just pack open.
Yeah, no, I play it.
I've played a little bit of
Yeah,
it.
it's fun.
Have y'all got a
it's
Mew
interesting.
EX though?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I got 2 Gold Crown Mew X's.
I don't know what that means.
It means it's the golden one.
I don't have to see
Anyways,
I don't know what that is.
So number three, something a little bit more sexy. Actually, a lot more sexy. It's Stellar Blade, dude.
I don't think you're memeing.
Oh man,
I've only heard great things about it.
honestly, dude, this game got advertised only as jiggle physics with some cool looking action, and it is that. But honestly, it does it all really, really well. The soundtrack is actually really good.
Yeah, it's supposed to
Have
be
you
like a
played
near
Bayonetta?
rop off.
Yeah.
How would you compare it? Like, is that the comparison to make? Like, I don't know enough about Stellar Blade.
It's close enough. I would say Bayonetta's action feels probably a little bit more smooth, but that Stellar Blade is more refined. Like the system is better in Stellar Blade. Like there's a lot more room for creativity and moves to a
But
degree.
that would be like
It's a pretty comparable reference.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
Okay.
too far away, right?
All right.
If you enjoyed, I'll put it this way: if you enjoyed Bayonetta, you probably enjoy Stellar Blade. That's like a pretty fair enough
Yeah.
comparison. I think you'll like it more for the story because honestly, the thing that baited me into thinking that I wasn't gonna like it was I thought the story was gonna be fine. I won't lie, I bought it on jiggle physics and good action, and what I got was jiggle physics, good action, and a surprisingly good story. That I will this I almost don't want to do spoiler, but I'll just say that there's.
Don't do spoilers.
The reveal of the world lore that it's telling, and the reveals and stuff at the end are really cool. I'll just put it that way. It's not necessarily, I don't want to call it like a twist or anything like that because it's not really that. But just like the world story by the time you get to the end of it is pretty dope. There's some, I would say the most boring parts about it, if I had to give it a critique, is going to be some of the level designs. Some of it is a little so-so. The environments are kind of okay. You kind of get a desert planet. You get into like a little water sewer thing, blah, 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 blah. The cities were interesting enough. The enemy fights were good enough. It was hard when it wanted to be. God, one of the last fights is like really hard, like super, super difficultly hard. But it always gave you tools to sit there and navigate it. I will, minor critique on one of the tools. You have, I won't lie, there were a couple times on like one of the boss fights where I was like, I'm going to find a move that gives me the most iframes humanly possible and damage, and I'm spamming the shit out of that. And I did, and it worked. But altogether, I'll say, yeah, the action was all pretty fun. They have some weird segment ones where it takes away from being an action like hack and slash, and it makes you go through like a little bit of like a horror game, like third person shooter with it.
Huh.
And I was like, okay, yeah, this is a good enough excuse to switch
That
modes.
is not what I would expect.
I know, that's what I thought.
I've
So,
heard the score is like the best part of the game.
but
almost.
the soundtrack,
Like,
yeah,
it's
the score
insane.
and soundtrack is actually just great across the board. So yeah, it was a number 3 for me. This game punched well above what I thought it was going to get. I thought I was going to aim at closer to like like a 7-ish or something like that. And by the time I was said and done with it, like there's a little lull in the middle, but said and done end of it, I was like, dude, 8.5 or 9, man. This one punched well above what I thought it was going to.
P people loving this game.
Dude, Liza, I fucking love Liza P.
I know.
That number 2 of last year.
Yeah.
It could arguably be number
It's like
1.
a ripoff of a much like more well-known game that is still really good.
Yeah, I mean, so
Which isn't bad.
Liza P. Korean. This is I think this was a Korean game also, actually, thinking about it. So
I
Yeah,
mean,
'cause it's a
that-
Korean market was
this,
killing it.
This year is definitely kind of the story of Western developers failing.
Yeah, and the
Eastern
Eastern
developers rising up.
100% agree.
That may influence the rest of my top ones, but we'll pass it along. Go ahead and number 3.
Number 3 for me is gonna be Dragon's Dogma 2.
Ooh, look at that creeping onto a list.
That's crazy.
Did you play it?
No, I haven't played it yet, but I don't know. I've heard much hype about it since it came out.
It got treed.
Everybody played a bunch of it and then just kind of moved on from it.
Yeah.
The reason why I feel like it sits where it does,
Mm-hmm.
like towards the end of it, I also was kind of being like, there's too many of the same monsters being fought and stuff like that. Like a lot of the complaints that people had.
Are valid.
But the thing that redeemed it for me entirely was basically an optional ending to the game that blew my mind, the fact that they even did this and to the scale that they did. So, are we okay to spoil?
No.
Nope. Sure
I don't
can.
want to because honestly, I
Alright,
might play it.
alright.
When it's on my list for when it goes on
Yeah,
sale cheap.
and honestly, the only reason I put it off is because I wanted to get updates. My biggest thing was the tech running issues.
I'll
Yeah.
say it's basically a alternate ending kind of thing that you have to like look up how to even get into it, because you'll think that you're in the credits, but you can actually move around and do stuff.
Oh.
The story
Okay.
of Dragon's Dogma 2 is about like subverting the archetypal story of a fantasy game. And the secret ending does that, and you like the game isn't over. You're now suddenly in the latter half of the game that if you had just followed the archetypal story of a RPG and been the hero and beat the bad guy and went to the end of the game, it would have been over. But then whenever you're like in this alternate way that the story can play out, that was so compelling. Like that was such a cool subversion of what you would normally expect from these kind of games, and they were hinting at it all along, and it just like the story for this game is what sold me, and the fact that they were doing so much to like tell a very atypical story in the genre.
It gives me like the Nier Automata vibes, where it's like you beat it and then you gotta like, all right, but then you gotta.
And you gotta
It
really
does make
beat
you
it.
run it through
Yeah.
again, and then you get to beat it again, and then you get to beat it for real. And that sounds grindy to some folks, but I promise that game is absolutely worth.
Yeah, well,
playing.
you don't have to play through this one multiple times to get
This is
there.
a oneer, huh?
Yeah, you can.
This is a one reeler.
And I think you can also like load saves too. So like you could play out the normal version and then like go into this alternate ending, and it's.
I got to the
very-
credits, I win the game. That's
Yeah.
what I've been taught, and I refuse.
Well,
to
yeah, I mean, you could probably like the thing is you could walk away from this game not even knowing what you missed.
Yeah.
And boy, are you missing something very cool if you do that.
Again, sounds alarmingly like Nier Automata in that way. But Jill, number 3.
My number 3 is Chance of Sinar.
Oh, okay.
I've
That's
heard a lot
the
about
game that
it.
Chris was
Yeah.
really hyping up.
He kept talking about it, so I checked it out, and I really enjoyed it too. It's a language translation game.
Yeah.
Oh no.
You play. I mean, that sounds worse than it is.
Uh-huh.
You play a character who travels to this like citadel mountain place where there's 5 different groups of people who have stopped talking to each other and developed 5 different languages, and your character does not speak any of those. So you have to like go around talking to people, looking at signs, trying to learn each language one at a time. And as you go up in the mountain, you can use words from other languages to understand new ones, because they'll like call the previous people like their enemies or whatever, and you just progress up the mountain until you learn all the languages and learn to talk to everybody.
I remember thinking this was a cool idea for a game, because I think I saw it on like, I think it was like a Second Wind review or something like that, but I was like, this looks cool. I'm like, a little on the nose. You're working way up the mountain of comprehension effectively.
Yeah.
Or like a Tower of Babel. kind of
Yeah,
thing.
exactly, right. Like, both of it sounded... but I was like, the gameplay did look interesting enough. I was like, oh, okay.
I thought it was cool. I thought it came together at the end very well, with being able to talk to everybody. I really enjoyed it.
Look at you, learning 5 languages.
I barely know
And it
one.
definitely gets harder and harder. Like, the 4th language is very Arabic based, including the writing. I'm like, God, this got way harder.
And then
really
meanwhile,
fast.
you're... So at any point during this game, let me ask, though, because I think this is my definitive thing on games that kind of play like puzzles. Did you have to look up online and be like, how the fuck do I do this?
I may have looked up a few words.
Uh-huh, okay. But not too much, though.
Specifically on the 4th language, where the swirls really got me.
Yeah. Squirrels.
This like the
Swirls.
it
Oh, the
goes from,
swirls.
like,
Okay.
The squirrels.
I was like, yeah, the
The
squirrel
first-
language was really
The
difficult,
first
guys.
3 scripts are very like angular,
Yeah.
like sharp angles. Whereas
Right.
this 4th one suddenly goes to like a lot of circles,
Uh-huh.
so it gets harder.
At
At least for me personally, to understand the differences between the different characters.
Swirls with a W, not with a Q.
Sounds rough.
Oh, all right. Number 2, we're in the silver medal price.
All right. Well, this game is a big one. Metaphor ReFantasio.
There it is.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you knew this was going to be
Yeah.
on my list. You know what my top 2 are going to be going into this.
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah.
I thought like last year, but anyway,
Uh-huh.
Metaphor, like just to talk about the gameplay mechanics first, it introduces so many quality of life mechanics. So this is the same team that made Persona games.
Yeah.
They had an offshoot team that's the original Persona makers went to go make this game. and they got together and basically said, "How can we make Persona but so much better?" This would be a Persona kind of game. I would actually even recommend to someone like you. I think
yeah. So
you
what I
would
was
like
going to
it.
say is like, is this actually the Persona game to play
for you?
For me.
If you love Persona but don't like Persona, this is the Persona for you.
This would be one for you, Nathan. Definitely.
I mean, didn't I play? Wasn't what was that Fire Emblem thing? Wasn't that kind of Persona-ish?
If you like Persona but don't want to play Persona for some reason,
something sharp, FE sharp.
Tokyo Mirage.
Tokyo Mirage.
Yeah, that game is more emphasizing the relationship part of Persona. I would say. Persona has like a mixture of like the Persona and what I would say core gameplay, combat mechanics.
Yeah.
ReFantazio really emphasizes story and combat. I would say, which again, I think I would like. Even you, I think you would vibe with this. It's like it introduces so many mechanics I want them to introduce into Persona. Like how have you played it?
No, I haven't played it yet.
Oh,
I'm waiting for you to beat it so I can borrow it from you.
I beat it.
Okay, I'll borrow it eventually. I'm playing Marvel Rivals right now. So.
But something in Persona is that to increase your social bonds, which is like the main way of getting stronger.
Yeah, it's your love Murph meter.
Yeah,
kind of. In Persona, you have to hit the right dialogue choice to increase your relationship with that person, which can be very frustrating because time is such a valuable essence in those games because it's a calendar system and you're based on how efficiently you use your time, which is something you would really like. But in Persona, it's very frustrating that like you're having to say things that you don't want to say to somebody just for the fact that you hope you get more points.
You have love me languages.
You're playing with a walkthrough.
Yeah, like
that's the
most
game saying
way. There's the right answer, and then there's the waste of time.
That is something that I definitely dislike. Is a game that feels like you need to be doing that.
Yeah, Persona is, I would say, one of those. I would say Royal kind of does away with that because even though it keeps those mechanics, it gives you so many chances to increase your social bonds that it doesn't even matter.
Here's food. I'm sorry I called you a dumb bitch earlier.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's almost like that whole complaint I had with the Erd Tree stuff where it's just like all the seeds, like there should be more seeds than you need. Like there should be more dialogue options
to encourage exploration and not feel like you have to go search
not feel
for
punished.
what you need.
Yeah.
Like if Tears of the Kingdom had something like that, like that'd be very frustrating. If I had to go like purposefully, like for
if you had to go
upgrades
purposely,
or something.
oh, I thought you said purposely romance like Zelda.
No, but again,
I rescued you, bitch.
I could keep talking about the different ways this game's better, but I want to emphasize the story because the story in most JRPGs is very formulaic, very boring. Persona is the worst offender of these. You know exactly what's going to happen. You've played one, you've played them all.
I'm a teenager. Time to fight God. Yeah,
that meme is real, unfortunately.
It is.
But with ReFantazio, it goes in it's so much more of a fantasy story that has so many twists and turns that feel very warranted and earned, and it's a fantastic game. The voice acting on every single one of these could be nominated for Performer of the Year. Kind of almost like, honestly, is like competing with Baldur's Gate 3 for me in terms of like voice acting. Like they are absolutely incredible in their performances, every single one of them. Even the main character.
Are these English? Or
yeah, these are English stuff.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
They're English, and they're actually English accents, which is funny. Like they have like ye old timey kind of like accents.
Okay. It's like Game of Thrones talk, right? No,
not too bad. They talk like real people.
Okay,
but like they just have those accents.
Right. Yeah, it's not old English then.
Super fantastic story, but again, I'm not going to take up all the time. But mark for me is, would I rather play this or Persona 5 Royal, which has been historically my favorite game of all time? Yeah. I would pick Metaphor. I would pick Metaphor. It's
strange that it's not your number one then, Price.
Yeah, you'll see why.
I'm not going to tease away any games.
Nathan knows why.
Let me ask one question real quick. Just real quick. Tiny spoiler. Do you fight God?
No.
All right.
Genuinely, you do not fight God.
Subvert my expectations, Metaphor. I see you.
One thing about this game, though, is that the soundtrack is lacking. They have the same composer from the Persona games.
But he took a nap this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, like, a lot of people really hype it up, but it's like Astrobot. Like, I don't get the hype. Like, I really don't think it's that good. I am never going to buy a vinyl of the soundtrack for this game like I did for Persona 5. I bought the Persona 5 vinyl and the Royal vinyl. Yeah. So I have 7 vinyls of Persona 5.
Yeah.
Because I love it so much.
Player?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Do in the kitchen. Use it all the time.
Do you just play it up?
I've got vinyls without a record player.
Yeah. Sometimes the looks are nice. Yeah, it's a good.
It's such a good statement piece. Like they look so good.
It is. Yeah, I mean you could hang up on the wall.
But you have several.
No.
Okay.
I just have the Spelljammer one.
Okay. You have one. That's not a big deal.
I would get a Japanese breakfast one because I think that album Jubilee is fantastic. Not the point though. Number 2, for me. can't remember what it was now. Sorry, my phone restarted and I was like, what was it again? Eastern Game was kicking ass this year.
Oh, Black Myth.
Black
Yeah.
Myth,
You
Wukong.
liked it?
Dude, that game is
I am
so
so-
good.
Everybody likes
I have
it.
been waiting for that to go on sale. I've been wanting that so bad.
Brother, it's a full price game. Let me tell you right now. This,
But for me though, because like
It's a
I know
full-price
it's
game.
very Souls-like though, and I don't click
That's-
with those.
that's
it
fair.
is Souls-like ish.
Like my buddy
Yeah.
Corey stopped playing it because he just couldn't get past a certain point, and he's played. He's about like you are, where he's not played a lot of Souls games, and he just was like, I can't do it.
I just don't understand because like
Yeah,
I
you
love
could probably-
Monster Hunter. Monster
Yeah.
Hunter has similar-ish combat. It's just Souls. I can't.
Yeah, I
Get
mean,
into.
it's not totally Soulsborne, is what I'll say, right?
I've heard that.
I'll say they give you enough stuff to make you feel like Souls. If you feel like a superhero, it's only as a consequence because you've learned how to beat this person from dying 100 times over.
Yeah.
This one does give you superhero powers. This one does give you stuff where you feel like, oh, I feel like I'm like a fucking god beating up on things in this game. Which, sometimes you want a power trip, 100%. I mean, I think that's the direction of it. I will say my one critique of it is that I guess the secret boss on it is so goddamn infuriatingly hard. Even by Soulsborne and everything else's metrics on it, that...
Worse than Child of Colossus?
Worse. Yeah.
Oh no.
Worse than Radon. And
Like Radon and
Scar-
Shadow
Scar
of
Sword,
Victory?
yeah, worse than
I don't know
Urge
these
Nerf.
words.
Pre-nerf. Worse.
Oh, dude.
Worse.
I thought I was gonna die before he was
That-
in real life.
Yeah. Like, genuinely, and here's where I'll say it's, like, worse, because most of the fights in the game have a sick cinematography to it. Like, there are times where you're...
The
where
game. That's why I want to play
yeah,
the
when
game.
you fight it,
gorgeous.
it is a gorgeous game.
Yeah.
And when you fight, there are just some really sick moments that happen by the nature of some combats and stuff like that, right? But the secret boss on this one, I had to respec. I had to go and grind for other gears to try new builds, and I had to find ways to cheese. And I, up until this point, hadn't had to cheese anything. I was just enjoying the build that I was running with, right?
Mm-hmm.
And nope, not with this guy. And I'm telling you, nights on nights. When you're fighting a boss, if you're a Soulsborne player, you'll get this. When you're fighting a boss and it's just kicking your ass consistently, but you're like, I'm gonna kill you. And it's nights straight. I go home,
Yeah.
I get done with work, I turn on that flashlight, and I'm gonna fight you for the next 6
I
hours.
mean, that's like
Yeah.
it was 2 nights.
Which was
It
Radon.
was 2 nights to beat Radon, and the second night I closed and locked my door, and I was like, I'm not leaving this room
Yes.
until
Yes.
he's dead or I'm
They
I
think
got
it's
my piss jar.
I'll put it to you like this. Yeah, Star Scourge Radon was about a 2-night. This guy's a 3-nighter. And, one night enough to just be like, this. I won't say it soured my whole note of the game, but up until that point, I had been having an amazing time with this game. The story is so freaking cool.
Number 2 still high.
Yeah, so much going on. Super great. Action's great. Gorgeous game. Fighting stuff. Boss lore. The lore is just wonderful.
I like that it's something different.
Yeah, all across the board, this is getting pretty excellent marks, but that one fucking boss fight sucks. Anyways, highly, highly recommend. China is farming our money on this one. But you know what? China and Korea are dropping some really sick games. They're like some of my 3 favorite games from the last 2 years are from the Korean and the Chinese markets. So, all right, look at me selling out. Go China, I guess. But Nathan.
So number 2 for me is going to be Ratchet and Clank Rifts Apart.
Mhm.
I think is what the title is.
What?
It is. That is the.
What?
Unless you're picking an older
Nathan
one.
with the praise.
Yeah, he had it on his computer. He
I
loved it.
love that game.
Oh, you might have
it
not
was-
been here for that.
Yeah, it was incredible.
I did
yeah.
not know that you
I
did.
adore that game.
I knew how much you gassed it up when you were talking.
It is beautiful. The worlds you go to are amazing. All
Rivet's
the guns that you get are super fun. Like it's one of the greatest romps in games.
Mhm.
Like it's so good.
That fight with the robot when you're playing as Rivet, like doing the grinding and stuff.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Yeah, it makes you feel like you're really good at video games with that fight. It's just like, man, like I get like I just hit it one time and got through it, and it's like, man, that was really good.
And that's
It
a
was
big
really
difference.
satisfying.
And that's a big difference between that and Infinite Wealth that I was talking about. That like how your party splits into 2 and you have to grind for each one. I
Nope.
love that
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
Ratchet and Rivet share guns and the
Yeah.
upgrades you get. Doesn't explain it. Doesn't need to because you just want to keep
it's
going.
a video game. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just want to keep going and enjoy the ride. Dr. Nefarious is back in as fun as he ever was.
With
Love
alternate
him.
so this is an example of alternate reality working out totally fine.
Here it is. Interstellar review knock.
Yeah. Yeah, like alternate reality Nefarious is awesome.
Where
Like,
he always wins.
Yeah. Like him with like the typical version of Nefarious
Little cuck
being
Nefarious.
like, yeah. It's
Little
just
soy
playing
boy baby
second
cuck
fiddle
Nefarious.
to like Alpha Nefarious. Yeah.
And the rift mechanic is so fun when it
Yeah.
actually works. Like getting to fly through different
Oh
environments
yeah,
and
like
keep going.
the fact that they could even make this game and make it look the way it does and do the things that it does, well, like just the amount of stuff that the game has to be loading constantly, as it is just like throwing you through world after world super quick. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's like I don't know what the deal is with Sony's like development teams, but they're leagues better. Like nobody's anywhere close to them on how good they can make a game look and run, like flawless.
Yeah.
So many other games are like, oh, doesn't this scene look amazing? Yeah, and it's running at 30 frames a second. Garbage. It's running
Take
at
that,
22
Final Fantasy
frames a
16.
second. Like I'm always impressed with every PlayStation title that I have played. Like there's not been a single one that hasn't wowed me with its visual fidelity and the fact that it just is rock solid frame rate while pushing some just gorgeous views.
It really sucks that Insomniac is going to be turned into a superhero studio, though.
Yeah, they're gonna.
Because I don't know if you saw their lineup of like what they've got
No.
coming up. It leaked.
Yeah.
It's like Spider-Man,
Spider-Man,
DLC.
Wolverine.
There's going to be a Venom game, I think. Wolverine is their big title they got coming up.
Yeah.
They're just like they're unfortunately just because the money wasn't there like with Rift Apart. Like
Really?
because Rift
Believe it or
Apart
not,
and
yeah.
Rift Apart came out soon after Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Come on,
Yeah.
which one made them?
They
more
literally
money?
cannibalized their own profits because I mean, and
Yeah.
probably in part because Sony said release these are when the release dates are, deal with it. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, because Spider-Man is the system seller that the like
Yeah.
like it is
Oh,
one of the
it's
PlayStation
the PlayStation
sellers.
seller. Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank just isn't, which is really unfortunate because I think there's so much more creativity
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
fun
like,
ideas.
Yeah. No comparison. Like that just the creative freedoms of that game are amazing. Like everybody should play that game.
I mean, the thing is, though, like kind of like the gripe of the corporate world is that Ratchet and Clank probably gets to exist because they do Spider-Man, though. You know, like they say, all right, the agreement is we get this money here and this money here for this game, so. Because Ratchet and Clank's clearly like the Insomniac at home property.
Yeah, like
you know?
the labor of
Oh yeah,
love.
because they've
Yeah.
had it for
It's
ever.
right. It's if like Naughty Dog put out a Spyro or something tomorrow because they got to make a Blast of Us again. You know, like
No, they have to take 15 years to make a new
make
IP or whatever.
to
Yeah.
make another Starfield.
right.
Oh my god.
Well,
Don't
no,
say
that's
that.
Bethesda, and they've been bad for hundreds of years now. People are just finally
Thank
catching
you.
on.
I did not know. I thought you were. I would have pegged you as a
No.
Bethesda guy.
I had fun with Oblivion, and Skyrim kind of has its like when you hack it to death, you know. Then
when
it's
you
fun.
mod it, yeah.
Right, but here's the thing: I don't like that they had to mod the game to be fun. Anyways,
Shouldn't have to fix those games for them. But
Right.
Jill,
Number 2,
My
Energy
number
Saver
2
is on.
Is Dungeons of Hinterberg.
Yeah,
I tried that game.
Uh-huh.
I know
Tried
exactly.
to like it.
I didn't vibe.
Okay.
You didn't like romancing people?
Just the art style.
Romancing in
I
that.
The art style didn't do it for me.
Oh really? You
Yeah.
like
For
it?
me, no. I like the idea. The idea is absolutely top tier.
I really enjoyed it. If anyone isn't familiar, it's a game where this character is very like European country based, goes on vacation to the Swiss Alps-ish kind of location.
Yeah.
Because magic's real now, and you can just go to national parks
And that
and
one,
find stuff.
that one village is the only place
Yes.
that has magic.
Well, no, it's kind of stated in the game that there's other locations around the
Really?
world that are similar.
You would know. You got way further than I
Yeah.
did.
She
But,
played
like-
the game price.
Yeah.
All right.
But in like all their national parks around this one town, there's like dungeons that are sort of Breath of the Wild esque,
Mhm.
puzzle based, and the game kind of continues into the ideas of commercialization and monetization of your
The dungeon
big
hunting.
public spaces and
Mhm.
stuff like that. The story's pretty good. It was interesting. I enjoyed it. It is an easy game. Like it's not
Mhm.
difficult at all, even in the fights, especially the bosses. But I mean, it's kind of relaxing to go through a puzzle-based fighter game that you can just enjoy.
Oh yeah,
that's fair.
The story, like I think, like I loved it. That's what pulled me in because like I saw the art style, and was like that's not for me. And then I heard like about the story and like what it's got going on, and like it's really unique. I thought that was really cool what they went for. And I think like she like was like she did have a job, and she's like I want to come
lawyer.
here.
She's on vacation, but also maybe she's not going to come back from vacation.
Yeah, just
I
to
mean,
be like a
over
slayer.
corporate life kind of thing.
I'll tell you right.
I think is overdone.
If you drop me into like, I don't know, like a Harry Potter or Pokemon world, a fantasy world, and they're like, all right, you're here now. I'm like, I'm not a therapist anymore.
I am a slave master.
Straight up, I am Goblin Slayer. All right.
I mean, that's
Like,
the idea. If you go on vacation, suddenly, hey, by the way, in this one spot, magic's real, and you can have a real life game.
Why would you go back?
I mean, case in point, like Westworld season 1, you know, they say, oh, you can go here and you can live, you can just do whatever fantasy you want. You want to go be like a killer of people, do nuts. I'm like, I'm not leaving.
But like the big conflict in the game is the idea that like the character finds out if she completes all the dungeons in the region, the magic's gonna end. So like clearly the whole point is to communicate with magic via finishing the dungeons. But if you finish all the dungeons, all that revenue for the town's gonna go away.
Right.
The magic's gonna go away. You won't have your funds place anymore.
So she has to.
So she like gets in fights with some of the other characters. Like especially like one other NPC in the game is you have a conflict of. She wants you to not finish. You want to finish. The mayor of the town is trying to keep the money flow going in the town by hiding the dungeons away.
So you turn your sword into a shovel and you dig up the corpses of all the monsters. Like, keep going.
Put them on strings, boys. It's Disney now. Yeah.
And I'm Goblin Slayer, by the way.
Nice try. Number 1 price. Gold medal.
Good grief. For years, we just did our Interstellar review. Y'all have heard me harp on about Interstellar for years. You all should have heard me talk about this game since you've known me. I have talked about Satisfactory
Yeah, you have.
for so long.
To an annoying degree.
And this year, it finally hit 1.0. I fully trusted the studio to have it out on the day that they finally released it because they didn't release their release date until like 2 months prior. Most of the time, it's like years or something, but they're like, we know we're going to hit this date. I took off work. So this is literally the only game I have
Did you start
ever
fresh?
completely fresh.
Oh, God.
How many hours do you have in this game already?
Yes.
Probably like 300
At least.
Wow.
It's my top played game on Steam. It's, oh my God, I love this game so much. I don't know why, like, it clicked with me so hard because I'm not, like, a big, like, factory management kind of person. Because I've tried to play other ones, like, everybody says if you like Satisfactory, you like Factorio. Absolutely false. I tried Factorio. It didn't click with me at all. It just doesn't feel fun to play moment to moment. It just feels like I'm God.
Satisfactory.
Damn it, you're right.
Got him.
But like in Factorio, I feel so disengaged from the world. I feel like I'm God, like placing blocks and down to do something. Satisfactory, you got your hands dirty. You are punching beasts to keep them out of your factory. Like it's not a defense game, but like when you're going out exploring for materials and stuff. You like there's monsters in the world that like that's their home and you have to like fight them in order to get them off and you can expand your factory.
Spiders.
The spiders are
big,
like
jumpy spiders.
Those are like the scariest thing in games. Like when you hear that noise.
Oh yeah, you know it's about to be a bad time.
Because like at that point you finally made yourself a jetpack or something. It doesn't matter. Those little things are going to pounce from the ground 100 feet in the air and take you out. I need to say what this game even is. It's a factory management game where it's not really a survival, but you can die. There's no like eating, farting, like watching your hydration. There's none of that nuance kind of stuff that you need because what you're wanting to do is automate. The whole game is about automation. You start like by turning iron ore into iron ingots, and then you turn those ingots into plates. And it just absolutely skyrockets from there. You turn plates into smart plates, you turn smart plates into something. It's all about keeping everything balanced if you can, and then going from there. But the thing is, you don't have to do that. My first gameplay I did through this like 5 years ago whenever it came out, I've went back and looked at that save. Absolutely hilarious. Everything, like, it can take 60 iron ore a minute to make an iron plate. I would have like 120, and then like the next second, like it goes down to 40. Like absolute travesty. They call it spaghetti. I don't need to talk.
I mean, I feel like everybody starts with spaghetti.
I saw your spaghetti.
Yeah, you saw how we started.
It was just so funny because Nathan did his first playthrough and it hit 1.0, and this has been my like 7th. Like I've played this game to death. and I keep trying to I'm getting away from what the game actually is. You're sent down from this. You're basically Earth is like needing materials to keep going, and they send you out to go get them. You are automating stuff to make these parts that you send back to Earth. You have nothing to do with Earth. You stay on this planet the whole time. You keep making more and more complicated parts until you basically just beat the game. There's so much to like keeping everything together. There's power that you have to use to keep your factory going. There's, I don't know, Nathan. Like, it's hard for me to describe.
I mean, it's all
everything.
about like scale and balance of resources. But I feel like to me the most apt way of describing this game is like, imagine you want to make a widget. This widget, we'll call it a heavy frame.
Oh, a heavy modular frame, perhaps?
A heavy modular frame. And if you want to make two every, I forget what the timer is, like 2 every 5 minutes, let's say, you're going to build about 120 machines and a factory that is 4 stories tall and the size of 2 football fields to make 2 of these things every 5 minutes.
Yep.
And you probably need like 6 of them every 5 minutes.
And then you think, man, you finally get that done after
and
literal days
look at all
of
the
working.
work that I did.
And that makes
that's one piece.
And that makes 2 heavy modular frames or whatever. You get to the next tier, because you go like by tiers and it keeps getting more and more complicated. The next low tier like piece that you need takes 5 of those frames every minute. So you're not even making enough to make one of the next unit. So you have to go back, double everything that you just did, and keep going. If that sounds like work to you, probably not the game for you.
It is work, but it is satisfying.
When you go back and look at everything you've created and just see it all working, being funneled into your storage room, just seeing those pieces on the conveyor belt, like that's why this is my favorite game of all time. Do you hear me get this excited very much, except when I'm arguing with Mason about Interstellar? I do about this game. This is my favorite game of all time. Like, no ifs, ands, and buts about it. I love this game. You could tell me, hey, Price, there's a new update that adds 1 new machine. I'm like, I will start a fresh save right now. I'll build it somehow different. I'll do something different. I've built all over the map. Oh, God, I love this game.
What Price just described is what I don't like about Satisfactory.
And that's
honestly.
fair. It's
right.
not for
the core gameplay.
people.
It is that. It's that. Okay, where's my dopamine hit? And they're like, you don't get one. You know,
No.
or you do.
Oh, no.
You do. Or, yeah,
No, there's
but
dopamine hits all the time.
But mine's the completionist dopamine.
Like when you complete it?
Yeah, so like
that's
I will say I enjoyed a lot of the process of this game, but I did hit a point, especially like in the last couple of tiers, where I was just like, I just want to be done.
Yes.
Like it would be a whole new tier of stuff. It's like, oh my god, why? Like every time I think I've done so much, I've done nothing. And
that is a very good way to describe it.
Yeah.
That's why you have to be completely just involved in the world. You have to be.
You have to give
absolutely in
yourself
it.
wholly.
You have to
You
be
really
do.
you have to be everywhere in this game. If you really want to fully utilize the world, you fully utilize the world.
Like you get
you're building
trains
all over.
You
the
get
place.
trains. You actually get portals to go between places. I never even built one, to be honest, because that was absolutely
like once
ridiculous.
we finish the last stage and the big thing that you're building goes away. We then just started like blasting our base and just tearing it to pieces. Like, this is over. We are done. We're never playing this game again. It was great, but I don't want to see it.
But I just took up a lot of time. Just again, this actually is my favorite game of all time, which is why it took so long. Like,
Yeah, that's fair.
I adored this game so much. So much.
I feel a lot of big feelings about this game, but there's not particularly a whole lot to rant about. But my number
Is
one.
this your 10 Mason?
No,
What's
I'm
that movie?
Never Back Down. No, this is not my Never Back Down. I'll talk a little bit about it, but I'm not going to rant on it.
Because I like it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the year of remakes for me. So part 2 of a remake ongoing would be Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
You shill.
I'm
I
looking forward to
should
this.
have known.
It's
Should
about
be
to come out
coming
on PC
soon on
here
PC.
soon. Oh my god,
I'm going to be playing.
I can't wait to
on launch.
replay it so I can do the hard mode run through now. On it.
I should have known. I've thought about, like, I knew you were going to put it somewhere. It slipped my mind.
Rebirth?
I started thinking about Satisfactory.
I distracted you with Black Myth and Stellar Blade. I got you looking at jiggle physics, and here comes Sephiroth.
Here comes Tifa.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I mean, didn't they change her?
Yes, we talked about that.
Yeah.
About how, like, in the real, like, Japanese release, she's wearing a two-piece bathing suit. Made everybody go nuts.
She does
They
wear
changed
the
it.
No, that she backs. She's doing a two-piece one back.
Yeah.
Well,
An original
you
release.
know,
thing.
the nice thing about PC is they'll fix it for
Yeah.
us.
Oh, there's going to be new mods
There'll
galore.
be a modder.
Let me
that'll
be clear.
Get it back to the way it was meant to be.
Let me be clear. She's the way she needs to be in the original release. Everybody got bait and switched on that one. She's two-piece and busty, and you get
Dylan's
to,
like, I know.
and you get to run around that biome in that one, and there's like sit-up and push-up contests, and you can choose to be in that outfit the entire
Wait,
time.
there are sit-ups and push-up contests?
Yeah, so one of the fun wacky things that
Oh my god.
So, all right, here's something for people who don't know. This is where I'll talk a little bit
Yeah.
about Rebirth, right?
I
People,
did that.
Maybe people who don't know about Rebirth, right? Like, sure, there's a lot of the action RPG, Final Fantasy VII, ongoing storytelling of that, and that's all great if you're here for it or not if you're not. So, but here's the thing that gets wildly undersold about, especially Rebirth in specific: the mini games are absurdly fun. I won't talk.
Take out Queen's Blood.
Queen's
what
Blood,
else you got?
dude? All right, so let's get into anything at the Gold Saucer. I typically mostly enjoy across the board. Gold Saucer has nothing but good stuff. When you're in Gonzaga, or not Gonzaga, it's
That's
the
a school.
no. I'm thinking of Costa del Sol. This is the area where you're in the bikini ones because I was like, it's the bikini area where you get this one. There's the squatman. There's the squat. There's the squat game and the pull up game, and those ones are just they're so silly fun in game, like in lore and in action of the game with it. I just typically enjoyed almost every single little game that it throws at me on this
It just
one.
feels like when everybody talks about this game, it's about the side quests and the mini games. Nobody
No,
really talks about the
because-
story and stuff too much because it's just like
Well, because here's
It's just
what,
like
here's what I'm
dicking
not going
around
to tell
and-
I
you.
don't want to have it spoiled.
Right, so here's two things. I'm not touching the story for this
No,
reason.
no.
So, point A is that it's, we have the main Final Fantasy VII storyline, so what's there to talk about that? A game that's been out for 17 years or something like that? So, 27 years. So we're not going to take on that. And then there's the current ongoing take of what's going on in the game with it, which I'm not going to touch because that's story territory. So we're not going to really super talk about that because we don't want to drop spoilers everywhere. So what else is there to talk about in this game for everybody else in journalism and stuff like
combat,
that?
score.
So, yeah, and
the
combat
paint-
and
the
score
paint-
and all of that is
I've
great.
got a question for you on that front.
Sure.
Did you play the Yuffie DLC?
Intermission, yeah.
Okay. Is it more like that combat?
By a lot. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Because
Yeah.
I was
The team
so-
synergy stuff that they
like that
introduced in
was
this
so
one,
good what they
Yes.
introduced in that I was hoping that would be moving on.
that is a
into the main
core
line.
facet of the battle stuff
Okay,
moving forward.
awesome.
Yeah,
Awesome.
if you loved what they did with Sonon and Yuffie with the
I
synergy
did.
mechanics in the game,
Yeah.
yeah. And here's the other part of it that I always come back to again is that I love the customization of builds in this one. Where in the first one it had that same thing. I raved about that, especially when you play hard mode and it like makes you play it in a very different way with builds that you wouldn't play and characters you would probably usually don't even use. I haven't played hard mode on this yet because I wanted for the PC release to come out. But just on what they gonna give us with materia builds, action stuff, the collaboration between characters and stuff like that, dude, there's just so many fun options. This game, I'm just like from start to finish enjoying every bit of the game. When I'm in fights, I'm fucking loving the fights. When I'm in the mini games and the little like, I wouldn't even say the side quest in specific. I think I think one had better side quests than second, to be honest. But the side games and the little extra little things that you play normally that I don't give a shit about most of the time, loved on this one. And the fact that Queen's Blood is just this narrative driving force throughout the whole game as well. Dude, check that card game. I mean, again, I'm a card game guy through and through.
Yeah, you are.
I fucking love that. You gave me both. I'm like, I'm having a great time with this game.
Two things I can say about this game is that the score is possibly like the best of the year of any game.
The score is so good.
It goes so hard for
Yeah,
so
it did get the
reason. I
nom.
don't understand.
It did get nom for. I think it
Yeah.
actually.
No, it won.
It won. Yeah.
Oh,
no,
is that,
got
oh,
the-
it did? Yeah,
it got
yeah,
the
it
there
win,
is-
did. Yeah.
That was the
There
one
is-
that won.
There is
on,
no competition on that front for
Yeah.
that game, in my opinion. And the second one, which I think is like the biggest thing for me, is that you see every dollar that they put into this game.
100%.
It is.
And you're about to see
absurd.
even more of every dollar on the PC release too.
Oh, man,
Yeah.
like it's just so cool to see.
Looking
Like when
forward
you
to
Because they got the twin pack now that you can buy 1 and 2 on it, so I haven't bought the 1 on PC yet. So $70 for the twin pack, which is
Okay.
pretty
Yeah.
good.
It's just cool to see because, like, in Spider-Man 2, I think we heard that it's like $300 million or something to make it.
Yeah.
It's like, why?
Everybody kept talking. Yeah,
That
and you're
doesn't
like,
make sense.
they're like, look at the
Wait,
city.
300
That's
million.
the Concord number
Let-
you're
let me
thinking
look.
of.
I
I'll-
don't feel like there's a game that's ever been
It's
that
crazy.
Concord
expensive.
was that. that much.
Was it?
Yeah, they.
No, that's
Well,
a,
no,
that's
that
a
was a
rumor.
rumor.
No, they gone back forth on it, and they said it wasn't. And then they gone back and they did prove that it was actually Concord 300 million.
But my
Can't
point,
wait for that secret level
Spot-
episode.
Spider-Man 2 had $315 million budget.
I believe that. Yeah, AAA games are all like nine-figure digit games now for the most part.
I told you, yeah.
But to be fair, if you said where is it, I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, yeah, I'm kind of with you. I mean, it's not to say that game isn't great acted, great cinematography,
Yeah.
big scale scope. It's not that fun game. You're just like, I don't know if it says 300 million.
But then, like, if you told me that
How much is
Rebirth
Rebirth?
took 300 million, I'd be like, yeah,
Would
the
make
score
sense.
is like, it have to be absurdly expensive. Like, the look of the
Yeah.
graphics and like the art design is ridiculous. The amount of content in there to me is like nonsensical and it's not needed, but it's there.
Price, did you make this thread? On PS5 5 months ago, or 9 months ago, FF7 Rebirth feels like a game with 300 million budget compared to Spider-Man 2. It's literally around 9 months
That
ago.
couldn't be.
And it was deleted.
I was gonna say, like, I don't ever post.
I know.
It's not-
I'm
I'm like, but maybe I did.
Yeah, but you're like, the fact that it's literally
You
just
just
a
had to
thread.
double check, like, is that my username?
Yeah.
Finish your thought, because
So-
we got two more.
Here's how much it actually it only cost $70, guys. Budget of 45 million. Oh, that's just for 7. Anyways, I'll get back to budget later. Anyways, budget aside, I adore this game. This is my like, not this Rebirth in specific, but Final Fantasy VII is still my staple classic default answer to what is your favorite video game of all time. I'm gonna say 7. I love it. I love the franchise, but 7 is my favorite in the franchise. And I'm loving the action takes on Rebirth and everything with between. I take it back. The Gilgamesh side stuff with it is so fucking good. So good. Anyways, so I enjoy it. I can't wait to play it more on PC and really grind out all that extra stuff. And it's going to be 60 frames, pretty nice.
I mean, maybe it'll be my top game. For
It
next
might be.
year.
It might be your 2025 one. But maybe.
Only thing I really heard in regards to the budget, and all I'm finding on here, is that they did lose money on on Rebirth, and I
Yeah.
do remember hearing that being reported a lot.
I mean, Square Enix keeps consistently saying they're reporting,
I
but
mean,
that's
you
what
can say,
expectations.
Here's the thing:
though,
you can
versus-
say you lost money on it,
Yeah.
but if you have only sold on the PlayStation market, then you are just leaving money on the table.
Right,
The
which is
fact
why
that they
they're
wait
opening
so
on PC.
long to get it out to PC is
Yes.
their own fault.
Yeah.
Really.
Exclusive sell consoles.
Right. They.
Yeah, like
It's-
I
they're-
mean, that's why I buy consoles are for exclusives.
Right. It's Sony's push, but now most exclusives just end up on PC a year or two later.
No,
Yeah.
I know.
We know,
you
Nathan.
are, but like
We aren't.
most,
We're dopamine hunting.
most people like are still mostly console. Like more and more
Yeah.
people are getting PCs, especially when it's so
PC has
much
been
cheaper to
blowing
get
up over
PC.
years,
yeah.
but the console.
Yeah, that's beside the point. It's almost
And Sony's the only console thing right
Okay.
now until Switch 2. So, number 1.
So number one for me is going to be Grounded,
Ah.
which
Wait, is that the
Super
Explorer
solid.
small? You're like the.
yeah, it's
Little-
a
yeah.
Honey I Shrunk the
I
Kids.
Honey, I
play,
Shrunk the
I
Kids
play
one.
that so much. It's so
I've wanted to play that.
I love that game. You know what's funny with you saying that you played it so much? I assume you liked it quite a bit.
Yeah.
Right. I would say it is very Dark Souls esque. Like it might be first person, but the weapon design and the upgrade systems for it, and the way bosses are, and like the prep that you do in advance of it, like a lot of what is going on in that game is lifted from a Souls style of game design.
So when I took down a stink bug, I basically took down Rotacon or whatever.
It's like, so taking down a stink
Right.
bug, I would equate to like taking down a Black Knight in Dark Souls.
Okay, I get
Like
that. It's like, okay, here's what you have to understand about Dark Souls really quickly is that sometimes bosses aren't even in a boss room being a boss. Sometimes the bosses are just the enemies you meet along the way, and a Black Knight is definitely one of those.
A Black Knight is basically like, it's basically a dude that is like sitting in a corner and there's a chest behind him and you're like, well, I want that chest.
And he's like, I know you do.
And he's like, yeah.
Come get it.
Come get it. I'm not even looking at you.
Yeah.
And you get too close to him, he turns around and he just starts whooping that ass.
Yeah.
And that's what the stink bug does too. Like if you're not ready for it, you don't have that gas mask,
And he's gonna chase
he is
you
gonna
down.
beat your ass.
Uh-huh.
And it, like, there's so many things about this game that are just like entertaining and cool, and like the design of like the whole backyard
It's so detailed.
is so
Every
detailed,
bit.
so awesome. There's stuff that I didn't even get to. Like I never made it inside the sand castle in the like sandbox, and I would love to go back and do that at some point maybe. Like this game is just so full of like just delicious content. Like it's amazing.
Let's do a new run. I haven't played this one. I wanted to play it, but nobody else wanted to.
I have beaten it too recently, but catch back with me like after a little while, and I could probably run it back.
Yeah. I beat Satisfactory like 2 months ago, but I'll do it again with you.
I won't do it.
But yeah, I mean it's highly worth a play. The visuals for it are really impressive.
Story.
Like the way light filters through like the blades of grass and stuff is cool. The story's really
you got to pay a bit more attention to it because it does kind of happen in the background. But like if you
just like Dark Souls.
Yeah,
but if you do pay attention to the story,
you find
it's really
notes and stuff around that like give you pieces
in the audio dialogue, which
just like Dark Souls.
But it's kind of hard because if you're playing with somebody, which is the best way to experience.
Oh
this
yeah,
game,
people are running through shit every time.
You're talking over each other.
Yeah.
There's dialogue going on.
Me and Corey at least were pretty good about not doing that, as long as I was in control of like the dialogue with Burgle. Because he would skip through dialogue with Burgle, but like cutscenes and stuff, he wouldn't be like.
We're like it's sacred.
Yeah.
I've got an ADHD buddy
talking about like audio in the game, I think it's so funny that this game has bugs making breathing noises. Like bugs don't
never thought
breathe.
About that.
They passively get air, but whenever there's a wolf spider and you hear like just sinister breathing,
terrifying.
Yeah,
absolutely terrifying.
I don't care that you are breaking the logic of like the creatures that you are portraying in this game. It feels right because it is really scary whenever you are walking over a leaf and suddenly you hear that deep breathing and you realize,
there's a hole under here, and that's his cave.
Yeah, underneath here there is a wolf spider sleeping, and if I wake him up, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die real bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, such a good game.
Yeah.
Did you beat it?
No. Did not beat it. Got really far. Like I forgot.
And then started a new Satisfactory.
We got into like the research lab. We did like tons of those quests and everything. Where you have to do all those
did you get up to
stuff.
like the second tier, like above the pond or anything like that? Okay,
definitely.
So you were like past like the tipped over barbecue and like did you open like the chest where like all the flying insects come out of?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you got pretty far.
I don't know. Then we just stopped.
And then you're just like, and then it just ended.
It's a very, very good game.
I like that you put it as number one. It's not going to make any waves out there because only Chris is listening.
That's
but
not true. Chris loves it.
Like, it is a game that should, I feel like, get more recognition than it does.
Yeah.
Really.
Like, and I've played a lot of these kind of games towards the latter half of this year, and it's the, like, Abiotic also didn't wear out its welcome for me, but this game really didn't. Like, I was not, like, with Satisfactory,
that's what I was going to say.
Like,
where was Satisfactory?
Grinding down where I was just like, just get to the
I was wondering, it's like, I got like 160 more games.
That's the thing. He doesn't, a time sync game is really hard for Nathan because he's got 15 other games he's trying to play right now.
And Satisfactory also hit me at a perfect time because it came out like 2 months after Levi was born.
Oh, yeah, and you're just like, I need something grindy I can walk away from, but it's just constantly going.
Yeah, and in that game, walking away from it is actually good.
Sometimes
your stuff's just running.
Sometimes it is if you don't have an overflow somewhere and it backs up a line and breaks everything.
You have to have your splitters with logic to route your excess.
Splitters. Oh, I know so many of those. Sorry, don't need to do that again. Grounded's awesome.
Jill, number one.
My number one I played this year is Journey.
Hey! She did play it this year.
There you go.
Gliding simulator. It's not a walker. You do glide.
Yeah, it's a diving simulator. It's great. It's a game right up my alley that is very vague in story technically, but if you just imagine all of the meaning in it, it's very, I don't know, it can get very emotional, I think. I like, when you get close to the ending and just the way your character moves changes as you get closer and closer to the top of the mountain. It's really enjoyable. I've watched a lot of videos about the game after I finished it because I only did
that's always good.
Like, I like all the stuff in it. Like, I couldn't make myself play it again after my experience in the game, but like, I like that if you play the game a ton, literally if you play it, your like robe changes to white and you can help other players. You can have instances where like there's more than just two players playing together. It's like a group. I like all of that. I even liked my own experience where I didn't have a friend in the game. Like, at the end it says, like so and so play with you, but I never saw them at any point in the game, which is
alarming, is what it is. It's like, where were they?
They showed up, and then immediately the thing got them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really enjoyed my experience playing through that experience, which is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they just came out with another game. Is it Neva?
Neva is what you're
By
thinking.
then?
I just bought it.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did?
Yeah, I haven't played it yet though.
Super good looking game.
Neva's
I don't know
beautiful
the
art
gameplay.
style. I played it.
You did?
Beautiful art style and aesthetic. The gameplay I found a little lacking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Enjoyable but lacking, or like just lacking?
I mean, would you call Journey lacking?
Journey doesn't even try to do the. I'll say this, like, for what they do try to put in the gameplay, it doesn't feel worth it. I almost rather enjoyed if it was more of Journey, like, than in that case, right? So, that being said, the art style is insane, and the story, by the time it's all said and done, is touching. But yeah, I do feel like in some ways, Journey did what Neva was trying to do, but better. It feels like they tried to complicate the formula by trying to do more, but it just didn't push it enough.
Yeah, the simplicity in Journey
Yes.
is what makes
Yeah.
very good.
So, without further ado, we are an hour and 24 minutes in. That has been the Return of the Game podcast. You can expect at this great same time, same place.
I mean, at least once a year we'll do this.
At least.
You know, if we could do some more of them, I could probably knock out at least 10 games a week or so.
I would,
on a podcast.
Nathan. The funny thing is, I would say you could just go ahead and pop in whenever you want on this channel to do.
Yeah.
But we
do my solo reviews.
Yeah, I mean, I did Lorcana
There should be
content on here for a little
requirement, though. You
bit.
have to post so many movie podcasts before you're allowed to post a game podcast.
Yeah. That's probably right. Yeah, we were just seeing Nathan uploads, and it's never actually a podcast release.
Some of our most viewed content is Dylan's Final Fantasy.
That's true.
Content.
Yeah.
My Final Fantasy content was very highly
That's
rated.
the only time anybody's ever actively tried to advertise that the channel even exists, though. I imagine, to be fair.
I mean, that's true. It did get posted, but I mean, like, Final Fantasy content finds you. You don't find Final Fantasy content
I see.
for TCG, anyways.
Sure.
And then the Lorcana content.
I'll start doing some Warhammer content now that I'm like painting
Just
all the
just sit
models
there and
and
paint,
stuff.
bro. You know you want to just record
Just
it.
do a
anyways.
live stream of me just painting.
If you could do an ASMR, with the microphone.
Speaking of, I found this out the other day. I don't know if you all knew this.
Mm-hmm.
Our channel is really called Effin Podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you all know that there is the Effin Podcast?
Yeah, I did know this actually.
Oh, you did?
I did know this. Yeah, because
Oh,
I
okay.
looked up immediately and I was like, why the fuck is
There's like a few different ones that are like kind of similar to it.
Yeah.
And nobody's really like a breakout hit. With
No.
this.
All of us with this name are all struggling down here. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
You think you're clever. But
yeah.
really...
It's like Cheerios now. There's a bunch of Cheerios.
It used to mean
but-
Friday Night Podcast,
Yeah.
but that was...
Did it?
Yeah.
Did it
when you
though?
actually met on Fridays, years ago.
You ruined date night for too long. Hannah was like, "You're fucking up this shit. I'm gonna leave you." And I said, "Okay, fine." I'll only do two
couldn't
more.
move it to Saturday or Sunday, huh?
No, because I'm doing literally everything else on
a
Saturday.
year
and Sunday.
straight of Gloomhaven
Yeah.
every Friday.
I mean, to be fair, and it was consistent. We did not.
God,
We did not miss Friday. So.
I still don't have an interest in playing Gloomhaven. The sequel.
What about
or
Frosthaven?
whatever.
Frosthaven.
Oh, I do.
That's what I'm talking about. I don't.
Let's play it right now. Here at 10 o'clock here in Central Standard Time.
Just crack it open.
Anyways,
No.
Jill's laptop's gonna die here shortly. So, anyways, as always, let us know what you think of the content. Well, this will be on YouTube, so you go ahead and comment below. Hit the bell.
It probably won't be
What
on
were
the-
your top 5 of the year?
Yeah.
Yeah, comment down below.
Engage with the audience,
and
guys.
Call to action.
Oh,
Yeah.
good point.
Well, you can't use that as trademark my other channel.
Oh,
Yeah.
whoops.
Yeah.
That's not a trademark. That's like a literary term.
Yeah, and we trademarked
Like
it.
you have a
We're
call to
smart.
action in your
Uh-huh.
in your paper.
We're smarter than the scientists in Interstellar. Anyway, that's our show.
But aren't you on it?
Nope. Until next time, guys.
I need to save this before it just goes away.
We will see you. And I'm just gonna see if we can get you to 1%.
Come on.
All right.
All right.
All right. Bye,
Bye.
guys.
Bye.